how smart people can do apparently stupid things, how ethical people can do shady things.
Welcome to You Know Too Much, the bite-sized show, or the time it takes Letty to brew a cup of coffee that teaches you everything you never knew you needed to know about one person's beautifully specific obsession. I'm Pamala Buzick Kim.
And I'm McCloskey. Hey, Pamala, what's something you meant to do this past weekend?
Okay, fine. There's these gardening shades, and I've been meaning to put them up for over a year. And almost every weekend I think about it, and then it just never happens.
Sorry, a year?
Yeah, over a year. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, what's happening?
So what is it that you know too much about?
Yeah, I know way too much about human behavior. So I, as Eva has suggested, have worked for a long time thinking about why people do what they do, especially when they do stuff that's unexpected. So think about, for example, and I know neither of you because you're excellent people who always do the right thing, but many of us can have a different outcome than we intend sometimes. So if you're listening, if you're watching, I want you to think about the last time that you meant to like wake up in the morning at like 5 a.m. and go for a half-hour jog.
Sure.
But then when 5 a.m. came around and the alarm clock went off, you're hitting the snooze button until 7 and then maybe like crawling out of bed just in time to shower for work. Maybe you've been meaning to adjust your like savings retirement for a long time, to adjust the like portfolio in your 401k.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time.
But like when was the last time you actually did it? Or even stuff
that's last time I had one. Yeah.
Exactly. or even stuff that's like way more serious, like taking your medication. So maybe you have to have a daily regime to like keep yourself alive and healthy. And there are days or weeks where you might miss one or more or all of your doses. This is what we call the intention-action gap. So you don't need to be educated into thinking that these things are good or to know why you're supposed to do them. And you've already got the intention. You mean to do the exercise. You mean to do more saving. You mean to keep yourself alive with your medication. But there's a gap between what you intend to do and what you actually do. And so that's the heart of a lot of work that happens in applied behavioral science.
How did this first get on your radar? Like what made you first think of, how did this occur to you?
Yeah, well, for me, let's rewind the clock almost 20 years. I think that most of your listeners and viewers will remember how things were back in 2008. So there was this little thing called the housing crisis that was crushing our economy.
Sure.
Big investment firms were going down and banks were going down. And it turns out this was all caused by, like, you might say, shady investment practices, especially around housing, right?
Yeah, one or two. This is the year I moved to New York, by the way.
Indeed.
Oh, it is?
So, but what we'll all remember is that, like, people were trying to explain, like, how did this happen?
Right.
And as I was trying to understand for myself how this happened, the world of behavioral science opened up to me because it started explaining how smart people can do apparently stupid things, how ethical people can do shady things, how you can want to do one thing and end up doing another, how intention-action gaps form, et cetera. So this was my impetus for starting to learn about the ways that human behavior doesn't always accord with like rationality or what neoclassical economics would expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like maybe I like put this thing into my like shopping basket without scanning it, and I notice like, do I pick it out or do I just keep going because I'm in a rush?
Okay.
Your brain starts telling yourself stories depending on what it is that you want to do. You might engage in what's called bounded ethicality, where typically you're not a person who's going to shoplift or steal. But because you're in a rush, because like your kid is waiting to get
your kid is waiting for you. Yep.
You're like, I just can't deal with it.
Can't deal.
I'm just going to leave it there and like pay for everything else. And it's okay because normally I pay for everything. I'm not that kind of person. And just this one time, I'm going to do this unethical thing.
Yeah.
And that's all a way to like keep your identity whole, even as your behaviors are contradicting it.
I was holding up a line of people and I could not get my credit card to swipe me on. I just got on the bus and I didn't pay.
Indeed.
Yeah, you've always paid.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters the size? Like,
absolutely, yes. And also, one thing that we know from this body of research is that size can escalate over time.
Sure.
So that first time that you drop that package of brie into your basket and you don't pay for it, the next time it feels a little easier And so the same thing is true in whatever thing you're engaged in. Like it's a little bit of a slippery slope. One of the things that I've worked on a great deal over the course of my career is trying to solve social problems, and especially trying to solve social problems for people that are on the margins.
Especially. And what do you mean by social problems? Yeah, give us a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, so think about people who have traditionally struggled to make it in the U.S. And there's plenty of us. I'm somebody who grew up super poor by U.S. standards, so grew up in the projects, was on food stamps and welfare and WIC, and went to the public hospitals. Got my teeth done at Tufts Dental. Like I've been
shout out to Tufts Dental. Though.
Indeed. I am familiar with the social safety net.
Yeah.
Both when it works well as well as its inadequacies. Yep. And I've been perplexed by how relatively shitty it is here in the U.S. as compared to most of the rest of the industrialized world. So a big part of my work has been thinking about how we can improve service delivery within social policy for people that are living with low and moderate incomes in order to improve outcomes for people that are living in those communities and circumstances. So because I am obsessed with that, continue to be obsessed with that, there's a series of insights that I think are really important in thinking about why our systems don't work as well as they could and how they could work better.
With some of those insights. Yeah.
So let's think first about what happens when you don't have enough of a thing that you need. So this is drawing on the work of Eldar Shafir and Sendal Molay Nathan, as well as dozens of their colleagues. They've done enormous amounts of research into the cognitive and then downstream behavioral effects of not having enough of a key resource. We'll illustrate it for you. Okay. Have you ever needed to do something on deadline? Turn in a term paper, a grant report, some kind of
application? So many times.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in that circumstance, you've probably been able to tunnel in on getting that thing done, which allows you to ignore all the other stimuli around you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whatever, I'm doing this thing, right? Like, clack, clack, clack.
Focus pants are on.
Yes.
That's
Gotta
exactly
go.
right. So this is what is described as the focus dividend. Now, this is super adaptive in the short run, because if you're hungry and you need to go hunt or gather and find food and you're focused exclusively on that, great. However, if you experience chronic scarcity across a number of different dimensions, time, money, food, housing, basically all you're doing is toggling from emergency to emergency, and you're never able to zoom out and think and plan ahead, consider like all of the things that are important and try to prioritize them. You're just focused in on whatever is right at hand.
Right.
Part of the research that our friends did around scarcity was on your cognitive functioning. So they ran this experiment. This is a well-known experiment. You can find cool animated videos about it if you want. But like, they ran an experiment in a mall in New Jersey where they like recruited people out of their shopping experience to come in and be faced with a theoretical car crash that they were just in. So imagine that you just got into a car accident. Now, half of the people were told that this was an expensive car accident. So maybe you broke your axle. It's going to cost $3,000 to repair. The other people were given something that was only $300, maybe a busted taillight. You got to come up with half of that out of pocket. Now you're asked to think about this, to like, let it marinate in your soul. And then you're given a bunch of basically like IQ and cognitive tests to see how your brain is functioning.
Yeah.
And what they found is that for people in the lowest quintile of income, as compared to everyone else, they really severely underperformed when they were given that theoretical expensive car accident. But everyone performed more or less the same, statistically identically in the non-expensive condition.
Right.
So what it amounted to put it into layman's terms, is equivalent to a full standard deviation drop in your IQ. So about 12 points of IQ loss.
That's crazy.
Which is similar to being awake for 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
You don't have.
That's hard to believe.
And it sucks.
Yeah. It's maddening. I've seen those. I grew up like that, in that realm, in that world, and in my mom's current like green card situations, and trying to read all that paperwork and all of the stuff. I'm like, I'm I grew up here. My mom didn't grow up here. And it's her second language. So it's just like, I'm like, I can't even make heads or tails of this shit. Like, it's so crazy to me.
Indeed.
Anthony, is there anything that would surprise someone who thinks they already know about human behavior? Is there something you can point to that you've always found to be a bigger question mark than any of the others? Because all of this seems really challenging.
Yeah. Well, I'll continue on this like thread of what do we do with social policy, because I think that, if I've got one buzzword for you all and your viewers and listeners to remember,
yes,
it's administrative burden.
Yes.
So,
yes,
doesn't sound very buzzy, but we're listening.
There's buzzier ways to describe it. But what administrative burden is all of those hoops between the things that you want and you. And they break down administrative burden into 3 buckets. So there's learning about the thing. You have to know that the thing exists to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's getting the thing, what they call compliance costs. So what do you have to do to get access, fill out the forms, wait in the line, et cetera. And then there is the third one, which is like viciously understudied and underconsidered, which is the psychological costs.
Yeah.
So
right.
What does it feel like to walk into that office? How do people treat you? How are these programs framed? How much stigma is queued up when you go to use your EBT card or when you're standing in the WIC office waiting?
Right.
So, administrative burdens is what the scholars might call it. You might also call it, in the world of commerce, friction. So like famously are commercial organizations that try to reduce friction between your impulse to buy something and your ability to buy it. This is why Amazon has one click, right? One click, and then it's like coming to your door in 72 hours. But in the applied behavioral science world, we call them hassle factors.
Sure.
So this is a thing that I think people should really tune into, is how do we make good things easy to get?
Yeah.
Because we undervalue how much hassles get in the way of us doing the things that we want to do, closing those intention-action gaps. And so, I've done a lot of work over the years where you would assume that if people want or need a thing, filing FAFSA to get financial aid, sending in paperwork to get your SNAP benefits, whatever it might be, look, if you really wanted it, you would just fill out that paperwork. You would just send that mail. But we know better. And so if people care about this stuff, they should be doing their very best to lower all of those hassle factors, to lower those administrative burdens, to lower the costs to get access to the things that people need.
I love that.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears. I feel
More
like
of that.
I feel like we're in the age of convenience and not in a good way for all the wrong things.
Yeah.
What's the wildest, like, you're passionate, you're knowledgeable, you're driven about this. So now knowing what you like throughout time, knowing what you know, what's the wildest thing that this has made you do or stop doing for like yourself?
I mean, okay. So this is maybe like one of those physician heal thyself things, or I'm not great at applying behavioral interventions on myself. Think, for example, about trying to go to the gym. So I've been a little derelict at going to the gym lately, but one thing that you can do to get yourself to the gym that I used to be good at doing was like laying out your clothes in the morning.
Yeah.
But that's one less issue that you've got to deal with. Like, where are my shorts? Where is my workout shirt? Where are my sneakers? Like, you just put them all in one convenient place, set them in front of your bedroom door, so you've got to confront them when you get up in the morning. So creating environments that make it easier to do the things that you want to do. And, similarly, like a lot of automation. So as soon as I get a new job, the first thing that I do is set my retirement to 10%. So that I never get a paycheck that has like the full amount in it.
So you never see that
You never see it. You never see that number. You never see like whatever that thing is. You only know your paycheck with 10% deducted for your retirement account.
Right.
And then you don't experience the loss.
Okay.
Seems so simple.
So lastly, why should everybody else fall down this rabbit hole with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are any number of reasons to care a lot about like the quirks of human behavior, among which include this empathy that we were just talking about, and among which include also like self-betterment. Like how can you set an environment for yourself where you're more likely to do the things that you want to do? Set reminders on your phone to take your meds, put the alarm clock across the room so that you have to force yourself to get up to turn it off, which makes it more likely that you then put on the gym clothes you set out by the door.
Right.
Automate the escalation of savings every time that you get a raise. Like all of those things are little behavioral tricks you can apply to yourself, make your own life better. As you're also thinking about making sure that the environments that affect others have this lens on it that make all of our lives better collectively.
I think you're talking about empathy, a lot of it too. I think it's just like being involved in this and understanding more of it. It's just growing empathy and in growing empathy, I think we're going to have better conversations and better ways of reconvening and mixing in with each other and figuring out how to get out of all this.
Yep. 100%. And we are lucky that there are decades of research that tell us about some of the predictable quirks of human cognition that once we have that empathy, we can use as guidelines to design better for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Are there any books, podcasts, anything that like if somebody wanted to dive deeper into this that you would recommend for the layman?
For the layman, I don't know, man.
Not the academic, the everyday human. Perhaps your Knicks fan on the train. Fellow New Yorkers.
We'll pat those Knicks fans on the back. We'll see you in another 53 years.
Hey, go Celtics.
There are a bunch of books like kind of popular literature style books. I will invite people to read Scarcity by Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir.
Mm-hmm.
It recounts all of that research around cognitively what happens when you don't have enough.
Amazing. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I came in knowing nothing, and now I know way too much about the intention gap. I'm going to try to get those sunshades up in the garden. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's good talking to you all.
Yeah, thank you. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who'd love it. You can explore more episodes and behind-the-scenes content at youknowtoomuch.media.
Follow us on Instagram and YouTube to keep the obsession going. Anthony, thank you so much. Thank you. Boom. We're all going to be empathetic now. Praise the Lord, please. Fixed it.